Hey everybody, it's Sage Valentine here, and this is my review of the Sundance Channel's new original series, The Red Road. This story is based in the Lenape Mountains, or it's a Lenape Mountain reservation in New Jersey. It's like up in the mountain range in the Roseland area, which is like all the way up in Essex County. It's about an ex-con and a policeman whose lives both intertwine through secrets. Okay, this series stars Martin Henderson, Jason Momoa, Julianne Nicholson, Tom Sizemore, Tamara Tooney, and also has Lisa Bonet. I believe her character's name is Serena Vanderdeen or something. I think that's the name of her character. Anywho, let's get on to it. Alright guys, here we go. I feel like I'm hosting like a game show whenever I do that. Like, here we go. Jason Momoa's character's name is Philip Corpus. Philip is an ex-con who returns back to the reservation. He goes to meet his close friend Mike Parker, who has murdered someone. Meanwhile, the police are looking for a college student who's gone missing. And there's no trace of this guy. Like, the last time they saw him, he was in the Lenape Mountain Reservation area, and he just kind of just poof, disappeared. So Mike is basically visiting his friend. The friend's house is filthy, dirty, like no one's mopped the floor. Like, it's just greasy, dirty stuff everywhere. It's not even cluttery. It's just nasty. And he's in bed with a woman with curly hair who basically Philip tells, you know what, you need to go. And she just runs out, covering herself with like a blanket or something. Mike basically is instructed by Phil to clean his house from top to bottom and buy some bleach. Because that house needs more than bleach. That house needs like a roach exterminator or something just nasty. Rachel is a young girl, Rachel Jensen, who is the daughter of the cop Harold Jensen and his wife Jean Jensen. She's in love with a Native American boy named Junior. Her parents are not happy about this, not at all. And it's mostly the mother who is the most unhappy out of everyone else. Okay. What basically happens is that we find out that Jean, her mother, is a former alcoholic, and like I said, her father is a cop. And Jean is going through her clothes, along with her sister's clothes, to do some laundry when she finds weed in the daughter's clothing, and she tells the husband, and there's a big fight, the whole thing, and the daughter's not talking to either parent. She's at that age. So when Harold goes to work, he finds out that the police found some type of 8-track tape or cassette tape that had something to do with his wife, but they said that so quickly that they just like disappeared after that. And I'm like, okay, what does this tape have to do with something? But I guess whatever happened in the wife's life is on this tape. Harold and Jean are having issues. Harold's sleeping in the guest room. He hurt his back, and we find out he hurt his back while he was in high school, so he couldn't go on to play play basically Major League Football. So he's kind of like upset about that and everything that's going on. Philip goes to see his father, Jack, who lives in Brooklyn, played by Tom Sizemore. Jack is involved in some illegal business that's sidetracked by the investigation for this young college boy that went and disappeared. The cutest part of the scene was when Phil went to see this dog that was blind, and the dog was just so sweet. I don't know if the dog had been like born blind or someone had removed his eyes when he abused him or she abused him. I really don't know, but the dog is really cute. Jean and Rachel are just at odds, just screaming and yelling at each other. Jean reveals that a Native American boy was the cause of her brother's death because, according to her, he got her brother on drugs, and he ended up making him get in the water and swim, and the brother drowned, and the Native American boy didn't help. And her brother passes away. Philip, Mike, Junior, and Rachel are on some type of hike because Philip wants Mike to show him where he put the body. But he convinces Junior to bring Rachel along so he could take her on some type of romantic hike. Mike is kind of fuzzy about it, but Mike just remembers putting the body in the water, and Philip basically mentioned something about, the cops have been circling around here, so we need to get this body out as soon as possible. Rachel decides to get into the water while Phil and Mike are kind of floating around, and Mike grabs her, gets a little too fresh, and when Junior tries to defend her, he almost drowns Junior, because Mike is another character that's kind of off, and I wouldn't mess with him in that disgusting house. So, and he just killed the guy, and they're not even sure, they're not clear why he killed the guy, but they're just saying he killed him, so I'm wondering, was the guy involved in anything illegal or something? Maybe. And, Jean, Harold's wife, decides to drive all the way over, take his gun out of his holster that was on the door, and drive all the way to Marie's house, making a fuss, and basically has a gun and is banging on the door, just acting crazy. She comes to find Rachel, and Marie tells her Rachel's not here, and just acting crazy. So, Rachel's sister shows Harold that Rachel was taking a selfie with Junior, because Harold comes to ask her, where is she? And she said, oh, she's probably with Junior. So he drives out to find Rachel, finds some punk kids under some type of underpass or somewhere. They're skating, and he scares them, and they basically tell him where to go. He's like freaking out, and then they cut back to his wife, Jean, who drives down this road with all these trees. And if you live in New Jersey, there's a crap load for us to be such a kind of farming metropolitan state. There's a lot of woodsy areas, and if you're driving, you're going to see trees, you're not going to see any lights, and this is exactly where, especially if you go up in the mountains, and this is where she was. She's driving, there are no lights, these guys in ATVs are following her, and she gets kind of freaked out. Well, she's driving, and all of a sudden something darts in front of her car, and she hits it, stops, and then keeps on going. Apparently, I'm thinking that the wife is traumatized by whatever happened to her brother, and she just has not let this go at all. And I'm wondering like I said from the beginning, I don't know what happened, and hopefully in these next episodes they tell you exactly what happened to that brother, because it's just, she seems really crazy. So like I said, Rachel shows the selfie to her father, and the father, like I said, takes off. So the father, Harold, tries to talk to Marie, who is Junior and Phil's mom, and asks, where's Rachel? And Marie just shuts the door. She's like, listen, Jean was here acting crazy with the gun. I don't even want to hear this. But then all of a sudden, she, I guess, has a change of heart because he's so distraught. And she says, you know what? I know a place. She's like, but if he's not at this place, then I can't help you. And they both drove over to get Rachel and Junior. And he came in. Rachel's asleep with her head on Junior's lap. He threatens to kill Junior if he ever comes near Rachel again. Philip is upstairs. He sees them out of the window and basically drives his, I guess, because I'm really thinking that Harold left and took Rachel and just left the mother there, and Phil drives the mother, Marie, and his brother home. But he sees something as he's driving in front of the mother's house, but he can't understand what it is. So all of a sudden, Phil goes to Harold's house, and he knocks on the door, and he says, apparently he and Harold went to high school together. And he said, and in fact, I think he calls him and he says, meet me at this farm. And Phil basically tells him that witnesses saw, because I don't know if I didn't put this in my notes, but as Harold was driving either to or from Marie's house, I think from it, he sees people crowded around, and this guy comes up to me, asks him what happened, and he says a kid got hit. And I'm thinking that it's the kid from the beginning of the episode, but if you watch the episode, you'll know who the kid is. I'm not trying to give you guys too much. because I really want you to watch this. But if you see this part of the episode and you see this kid in the beginning with like stuff on his face, I think it's him. I have this weird feeling that it's this kid. And so Harold and Philip meet each other at this farm, and Philip basically reveals to Harold that there are witnesses that saw his wife hit the kid, and saw that the wife was drunk and acting crazy. And he said that the kid that Philip basically reveals that he was the kid that so-called accidentally killed Jean's brother. He said, believe it or not, you need an ally in me, or you have an ally in me. The native people are tired of what's going on. And then he hands him a gun and that his wife tossed, and he says, basically, you'll need it. Okay. I've watched a lot of like shows on Sundance. I believe Top of the Lake was on Sundance, unless I'm wrong. Top of the Lake was really good. Rectify has a new season that's appearing, I think, towards early fall, late spring, and Rectify is really good. The Red Road, to me personally, it's a good show. Hopefully they reveal more information about what happened to the wife's brother, and they really go into, Philip's past and let us know about that, and they also let us know about Harold's past and different things like that. There's a critic named Alan Sepinwall who's basically saying that the show is not good. My advice is to watch it and see, because my review may not even do it justice, but I'm just telling you how I feel about it. I liked it. Definitely watch the show and you'll definitely like it. What can I say about this show? The show is good. It shows people a different part of New Jersey that a lot of people don't know about. Like I said, people who live in New Jersey, live in Essex County, live in that area, they know of the natives that live up there, but a lot of people don't know that. And definitely check it out. It's airing tonight, February 27th on Sundance Channel. I think it comes on at 10 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. And also definitely check out Rectify and Top of the Lake. They're also really good shows. Sundance is doing this whole thing where they're popping out with really good shows, like them in Netflix. So I've been checking out these shows just to see how they are, and like I said, it was a good series. So this is Sage Valentine. I hope you enjoyed this review. I apologize if I was a little out of whack, because when I wrote this, it was these notes, it was 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'm trying to, focus and write it. But I hope you enjoyed this review. Thank you all for tuning in as always, and have an awesome Thursday. Definitely tune in for Scandal Thursday, because I will be tuned in as well. And just, I don't know, have a good day. Bye, guys.